Hello everyone and welcome to my very first introduction video to Azure Striker Gunvolt's gameplay. And before we get into spoiler detail, we are going to just skip this scene. And so I can move freely, I'm just going to go right here and skip this scene. And deactivate the dialogue using the Y button. Alright, so what I pretty much just explained is you can actually skip a story dialogue in the middle of the mission by using the Y button. It's only PC exclusive while using Japanese dub. If you don't have that, then no props, then you don't actually have to keep tabs on that. Anyways, before we start, we just go with the basic movement. So using the D-pad left or right will result in us moving left or right. Logical. So we're double tabbing left or right, and we actually dash, which lets us move a lot faster. And pressing some buttons, we can actually use the A button on the Xbox 360 controller. You can set it up just as you desire. Using the A button results in jumping, using the X button will result in us shooting, and using the B button on the other hand lets us use this little orb here, which is called the flash field. It's our best way to actually attack enemies, so you gotta take note on that. You can actually use the flash field by just pressing the right trigger button, which I highly prefer and I highly recommend for using during gameplay, because it's hard to use your thumb on three buttons simultaneously, so you have your pointing finger to actually use for the trigger while you jump and shoot, and yeah, it's much easier. So as you just noticed what I did, I use up some energy here. I can either wait for it to regenerate, like this, or I can actually just restore it completely instantly by just double tapping the D-pad down, which is much faster, and I highly recommend it if you, well, want to go more efficiently through the stages. Also, you can use the L trigger to just dash along. You either hold it down for a short distance, or you just... For a short distance you can actually just hold it down, but if you actually use one of your the D-pad left or right while dashing, you will be able to dash a long time. So if you activate dash even every now and then, you will go extremely fast. Also you can dash jump, which is awesome. Especially awesome for avoiding enemy attacks or avoiding enemies entirely. Or if you so desire, you can actually just use wall jumping, which is introduced here in this game, which is similar to Mega Man Zero's control scheme. So anyone who is familiar with integrated games like Mega Man Zero, you feel right at home. So introducing you into the combat system, pretty much all you do is use one of your metal tags, which you shoot with the pistol, by the way, and just tag the enemy, use the flash field, and you're good to go. The little coins there are in-game currency, which you want to actually obtain, and the green orbs are experience points, which you get for defeating enemies. And these actually have a deeper sense, but we get into that later. You can actually tag enemies up to 3 times. Each enemy can be tagged up to 3 times, like this here. And the more tags you put on an enemy, the faster it gets destroyed by the flash field. Since the flash field is just a means to shoot lightning out of your body, which will just automatically target the enemy you tagged. So it works pretty easily. It's very comforting to use. So there's some flying enemies here. And what I'm going to do now is just show you the privation ability which you have from the get-go. Because you got a necklace from your leader at Quill, you have this privation chain which neutralizes enemy attacks and, well, neutralizes the damage you would have gotten if not for the chain. And yeah, if you actually get hit by an enemy attack, you will just deplete some of your energy, which is not so bad. It's like whatever, right? But once you lose all your energy, you're vulnerable to hits, so you gotta keep tabs on that. Also, when you're using the flash field and the enemy hits you, you actually get damage. So you want not to use flash field when the enemy is attacking you, which is hard to do because you will get to handle bosses later, and it will be much harder to determine when the best time is to actually activate the flash field to deal damage or not to activate the flash field. Alright, before we get into other details, you can actually tag multiple enemies at the same time, like this. I can activate up to 3 tags with the standard weapon, like this, or actually separate the tags by just putting other tags on a different enemy. If I manage to actually destroy enemies simultaneously, I get a little bonus, like here, double. And there's also triple, but I think there's no quadruple, so as far as I know. I'm just going to skip this right here. There's secrets all over Azure Striker Gunvolt, where you use your flash field to get further faster. So I can tag this up to 3 times, electrocute it with my flash field, and I go fast here with no problems at all. Alright, now we get to the Kudo system, which I'll only shortly explain the system, because you can see it right up here at the top left. There's these points like multiply 20.2 and those 160 points. These 160 points are actually called Kudo, and they're pretty much your fame in a sense. Once you have over 1,000 of those Kudos, you can actually trigger a song which will give you a higher multiplier and make your score better. So let's get started. Try to get a better score, right? So the trick about this Kudo system is you shouldn't get hit. So no matter what happens, don't get hit. If you get hit while using the flash field, or even if with pervasion, you will actually just your Kudo counter will go to 0 again, and you'll just have to gather Kudos as you go again. So if you're aiming for a high score, you have to watch out for that. And also keep in mind that you can tag enemies up to 3 times, and you can actually just go and tag multiple enemies. There's also secrets like these, where you could just, you know, get behind an enemy before he closes, like here. But this one is actually dangerous, so I'm using this. If you're jumping while destroying the enemy, you get this airstrike bonus, which is 30 points, but it adds up in the end, so you better keep tabs on that. The gameplay so far is rather simple. It's the first stage after all. You just have to, you know, get to the basics of it and just learn how things go. So it pretty much doesn't challenge you all that much. You just have to understand what the Kudo system is, what the controls are. So here we got actually over 1,000 Kudos, which is really nice, and a different tune plays as you go. Of course, if you are getting hit now, you will also lose the Kudos, which results in the tune changing again to the standard tune. Now, as we go further, we notice this door here, which is a hexaglyph. You just tag it up to 3 times, use the flash field on it, and you're good to go. And you're entering a new section of the stage. This will be a common thing, so you gotta keep that in mind. So another interesting thing is that once you gather Kudos, and by the way, look at this multiplier, it's crazy, from 160 to 1062. It's a crazy amount of multiplying, and it gets even crazier once you get an even higher stack of Kudos. So you better keep that in mind if you achieve to go to the leaderboards, of course. So if you want to give the points, you pretty much just add up the points you gathered so far. You gotta take one of those checkpoints right here, and the points that the Kudos that you've gathered are getting multiplied by the multiplier you got, and it results in giving you a better score. so you keep tabs on that as well. The better score pretty much results in a better ranking, which results in the end for more materials that makes it easier for you to actually get yeah, pretty much get better accessories than you do at the very beginning. So here, for example, I try tracking these two guys, and yeah, this is the basic thing that you get, and I'm just showing you right here what happens if you happen to, you know, get damage while summing up your Kudo. Just showing you right here. You actually use all your Kudos. It's really a bummer, but you just have to go along with it. Deal more damage on the enemy, and yeah, get a Kudos as you go. And before I completely forget about it, and because the video is drawing to its end, I'm going to introduce you right here to special skills that Gunvolt learns as he levels up. For this time, we actually used Azure Sphere to put a finishing blow to the enemy. Azure Sphere is a basic attack, a basic special attack, which deals moderate damage and just is there for the flashy effect pretty much. But you actually saw a little bit of bonus points I got, 200 bonus plus, which is kudos that is being added up once I, you know, once I defeat the enemy. So here, for example, if I destroy these enemies right here, and actually now I have 93 kudos. If I go ahead and destroy an enemy with with my special skill here, the kudos I have collected so far are getting multiplied, or rather getting summed up by those 200 points. Right now it didn't, because it was some normal enemy who we don't care about, so yeah, didn't give me any special credit. And all it does then, which you already probably saw, but I'm going to show you anyways, if you have collected kudos and you want to, and you don't know if you will get you will be able to save the kudos until the next checkpoint, you just go ahead and use the Azure Sphere, your offensive skill, and the kudos will be used as your score. And because of no multiplier, it gets not multiplied, but you will save your score. Also, until 1000 you get multipliers, but not as high as you would get if you would go over 1000. So you keep that in mind as you go. Well, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you about the gameplay. It's really hard to understand just from the get-go. I uploaded a lot of videos where I unlocked the special Audiolockets, which you unlock by gathering 3000 kudos and finishing the stage without any damage, which is really hard to do. And yeah, that's my little guide prepared. You just gotta check out on it. And yeah, that's the basic gameplay. Hope you guys liked it. If you have any questions, or if there's some things that you didn't understand quite yet, you can always ask in the comments, and I'm feeling obliged to help you on your quest. Well, see you guys around, and yeah, goodbye.